important. Obviously, like here at Diversity Voice, we are helping families to integrate into the local communities when they move from abroad, and they really can provide some cultural assistance. I mean, what we like to do is to actually do some cultural events, so that can be really good fun, and at the same time you could organise maybe music events or food events, and just get everybody together so that the local people realise that the people moving into the community actually have an immense amount to give to the local community.
I find in particular in the area that we are doing the volunteering, if we weren't here, the permanent staff wouldn't be able to do their jobs during the day. They would be totally swamped with queries and having to guide people to the right area.
Volunteers can really support the extras, the really vital extras that we want to provide day to day, but actually sometimes people's time runs out or we don't have sufficient funding to do the extras. So like we're doing a reading project, which is reading out loud to patients, which I'm sure all nursing staff would love to do, but they don't have the capacity to do that. Helping people with eating, so just opening yoghurt pots, making sure people have got drinks or they can easily access their drinks. So all the tiny little things that just make a real difference to somebody's day, that's a really important role for volunteers.
Well, Heads Up depends on volunteers. It's quite simple. They have a very small staff, will work very hard or work far beyond their paid hours. So without volunteers it just couldn't happen. They couldn't offer the services that they do, and of course there's an increasing demand for their services as there's more people with dementia, for example, than there ever have been before. The numbers are rising, there's more incidences of other mental health issues as well.
I think, like a lot of organisations, we probably wouldn't survive unless we had volunteers helping us.
If we didn't have volunteers, we wouldn't be able to run our projects, some of our projects, especially the Lingo Link project, because that is all volunteers. We wouldn't have the extra help at our Christmas St Nicholas Day event we run, because they come and help support and set up and run the project.
Well, I think with both Roots and with my Young Carers group that I do, it's that idea of having more people to give one-to-one time. The people that come here and the people that go to the Young Carers group, they don't get that one-to-one support, a listening ear, someone that is a good role model. And you can just see how every extra person enables each person to have more and more support, and different people connect to different people as well. So a good thing about me being a volunteer down here at Roots is that I'm not staff, I am just here on my own accord, and I think that sometimes breaks down a bit of a barrier, that I'm not authority, I'm kind of more towards what they are, and so I think that really does help with the volunteers.
So the people who come to our clubs, the first person that they would see would be a volunteer. And they are the people that they connect with, so they're the ones that make our activities what they are, because they're the ones running it, and the people that come make friends with them and great relationships with them.
The main organisation that I work with that is so totally dependent on volunteers, and we have some fantastic volunteers, is Citizens Advice. As you probably know, Citizens Advice is a major national charity, but in actual fact it's an amalgamation of a whole load of local charities where most of the advice we give is actually given by volunteers, and that makes a major impact to the local community, because people who actually get the correct advice are empowered to take matters into their own hands and be less reliant on others.
Yeah, we think it would be a travesty, as Caroline was saying, the important is so vital to the day-to-day that it would be like cutting an artery of our hospital, really. They are such of an immense support on a day-to-day basis. They are also great motivation for our staff. They know they can rely on them. It's also a calming influence for our patients coming through, because they are able to just be that person in between, that is not a medical connection, but they can relax and feel totally at ease with, and being able to assist them in that way. So they make a huge difference, and again, they brighten up our days every day.
So every activity that we run here is run by a volunteer or multiple volunteers. If they weren't here, nothing would run and our charity wouldn't exist. If we didn't have volunteers here, the whole community centre would shut down and street would be left without a community centre.
We wouldn't exist. We simply could not run without our volunteers. We would be lost without them.
Most of the organisations I work with would not survive without volunteers.
If volunteers weren't here, I think the organisation would be a lot poorer. I think volunteers come from such a lovely range of backgrounds, and we have a wide age range as well. So some people might be nearer the age group of the young people that we work with, and they might identify much better than I might, for instance. And then we have some older volunteers who are there as mentors, helping with literacy, numeracy, helping them to apply for jobs. You know, they've got a lot of life experience and they can pass that on to young people.